So what type of questions are valid questions in spirituality, especially in Vedanta? Okay. And what is the real purpose of questions? You have to understand. So there is a story of Buddha. Buddha tells a story. A person is going in a forest. He is stuck with an arrow. And he's hurt. Some hunter has shot an arrow. So what are the valid questions for the person who is stuck with the arrow? So where is the arrow manufactured? Who is the hunter? What is his name? Or what is his father's name? Should be the question. Or where is the doctor? How will I stop the bleeding? Should be the question. We can ask n number of questions. But what is critical, what is important, and what is valid question, we should be clear. Okay. So somebody comes for a Advaita Vedanta teacher and asks him, when will I get enlightened? Is it a valid question or not valid question? So the basic principle of Advaita Vedanta starts with the principle that Tattvamasi, you are already that. Your nature is Atma. Now, when will I become Atma? That question is invalid. How will I become Atma? How will I recognize I am Atma? May be a valid question. But when will I become? The time factors come in picture. So when Vedanta, the teaching is time itself is invalid. So your question is, when will I become invalid? How can you become? When will I become that Brahman? You cannot become that. Vedanta doesn't say you have to become Brahman. It's a valid question in yoga. Because yoga assumes there is a separation between the Jivatma and Paramatma. When there is a separation, there is a number of steps involved. So you do this practice for 10 years, after that you'll get something. So there's a question of time and number of times. Maybe you do japa for 1 million times, or maybe you do this practice, breathing practice for so many years, then you'll get something. Because there's a question of sense of time, sense of separation. Same thing is true in bhakti also. I am separate from God. So I'll do all these steps to reach God. Time is involved, space is, steps are involved. Whereas in Jnana, there are no steps. You are already that. You are already Brahman. It's not that you, the teaching is not you become Brahman. So it means there's no gap between you and Brahman. Then if you ask a time, already you have brought a time element into that. So that is not a valid question. What is the process of Jnana, you can ask. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa is the Brahman. Then how long after Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa I'll get it? How long is not a question. Because every process of Vedanta or Prakriya of Vedanta is trying to point out your own nature. When will I recognize my own nature? When will I say? You can recognize somebody else's nature, but to recognize your own nature, when will I do that? It's not a time element. Then you can ask a question, what is stopping me from recognizing my nature? The teaching is given. I have heard the prakriyas. Okay. So what is stopping me my recognizing my nature? What is stopping you from recognizing nature is somewhere there is a misconception, a wrong understanding, or a wrong belief which is blocking your understanding. There's a wrong belief or a false belief which is blocking your understanding. So any question which will try to address that false belief is a very, very valid question. Because Guru, the purpose of Guru is to try to uncover the falsehood of the belief. Uncover the assumptions behind the belief. So when the assumptions are questioned, the belief is proved to be false. So that will open up. This is actually opening up the removing the false belief is actually called removing the bandha vasana. The vasanas which bind you is nothing but false beliefs. So the false beliefs have to be uncovered. How? Through the process of questioning. So when Shishya asks a question, instead of Guru giving an answer, he will ask another question to him. He will not give an answer. In asking another question, the Guru is trying to point out the false assumptions behind the question. They expose the assumption behind the question. Expose the wrong assumptions. Belief is a result of assumptions. You can imagine a stool is there. Stool has 4 legs. So somebody can sit on the stool. Somebody cuts the legs, you cannot sit on the stool. So belief is like a stool where people sit. The legs are the assumptions. If you cut the legs, the belief cannot hold. It cannot function. I'll give an example. Okay. The example of a belief system. So a person comes and tells, you have told me avasthataya prakriya. Morning, physical body comes up. Dream, another dream body is there. Deep sleep, there's no body. Still, I feel I am the body. Okay. Still, I'm not able to get rid of feeling that I am the body. Now, that's why I am the body. I'm not able to accept I'm not the body. Okay. So now what Guru will ask? Guru will try to uncover the belief system, I am the body. After the avastha prakriya, also you are holding on to a belief that I am the body. When Shishya asks the question, Guru will also counter question. It's not that he will give an answer. There's no jnana is given. The whole process is exposing the belief system, because Guru also doesn't know what belief system you have. Why you are saying I am body, you don't know. Guru also doesn't know. He has to expose the assumption. That's why Guru will ask a counter question. He will not give the answer. If he gives the answer, it will become more of a acharya, pravachana. Now, Guru wants to understand why you still say I'm the body. Why do you feel? Then Shishya says, okay, I feel I am the body because I feel the pain. See, when I pinch the pain. And I feel pleasure sensation here. Oh, because you feel something from the body, you feel you are the body. Is that correct assumption? So there's the assumption behind I'm feeling the body. Then the Guru will point out, can you see this apple? Yes, I can see the apple. Are you the apple? No. Are you able to experience the apple? Yes. If you put the apple into mouth, there's a taste. If I see the apple, there's an apple experience. So you are using 2 sense organs, eyes and the tongue. It's an experience. Instead of apple, if you put mirchi in the tongue, it will burn. Painful experience. But you will never say, I am the mirchi. So having an experience is not sufficient to say, you are that object. One more thing is point, that assumption is not correct. Having experience means I am the object is not correct. So then you should say, looking at the apple, I should be the apple, because apple is experience, seeing. So out of 5 sense organs, body is one sense organ, eyes, tongue, smell, and ears are other sense organs. So why are you giving a different treatment to that sense organ? So now, if the assumption is right, you give the same treatment to every sense organ. You see the apple, you say I am the apple. You see the wall, you say I am the wall, because it's an experience. No, body has a painful experience. A painful experience I can feel. You can feel the painful experience and the seeing also. If somebody is hurting your child, you'll feel the pain. No, I feel the pain in the body, inside the body. Okay. You will never feel the pain inside the body. All pain is felt in the mind. Body is an object. So when child is hurt, you are feeling the pain in the mind. When body is hurt, you are feeling the pain in the mind. In deep sleep, you don't feel the pain. In anesthesia, you don't feel the pain. The pain is in the mind. So your assumptions of where is the pain also is false. Your assumption that I am the body because I feel the pain or I experience it is also not correct. So that's how the Guru is trying to explore the belief system and remove the assumptions and show falsehood of assumptions. So next question Guru will ask, okay, you see you are the body. Are you there with the body, this body all the time? No. In dream, I have a dream body. Okay. But waking time, I'm there always in this body. Okay. So you're sitting in front of your spouse and the spouse is talking. Your mind is wandering. Then spouse will say, are you here? Then your body is here. Are you here? Then who are you? Are you the body or the mind? So your mind has shifted from, mind has moved away from the body. It has gone to some place. If you are the body, you cannot separate from the body. Have you any time separate from you? Can you separate yourself from you? Then there's no you. If body is you cannot separate from the body. But your mind is already moving somewhere. Body is here. That's why your spouse says, are you here? Listen to me. No, you are not here. Your mind is gone somewhere. Then, during waking time itself, you are wandering from one place to other place. Body becomes a base, reference point. Body becomes a house. Host. Now, host is because I'm body is host, I am the body. How can you say that? You stayed in the house for 25 years. Have you become the house? You go inside the house, go outside the house, sleep in the house. Have you become the house? So like that, invalid assumptions, unquestioned assumptions lead to a belief. A belief leads to false understanding. False understanding blocks your understanding. This is called Bandha Vasana. The whole purpose of the teaching of a Gnani Guru is to expose these false assumptions. He is not giving you new Gyan. He is exposing false belief systems. He will not give answer. He is giving questions. In fact, Guru doesn't give answers. Guru questions your answers. This is the method of spiritual self-inquiry. Self-inquiry is not keep on asking, who am I, who am I, who am I? Self-inquiry is exposing the false assumptions behind the belief systems. And by yourself, you cannot do it, because if you have done it, we are blind to our own belief systems. We cannot see our own falsehood of our belief systems. You need somebody who has gone beyond the research, who he can only question. That's why a guru is required in the spiritual journey who can question your belief systems very clearly. And that questioning exposes your false assumptions. Now it's up to you to hold the assumptions or drop the assumptions. Guru will not force you. Again, after these assumptions also will become clear, and then also you say, I am the body, then Guru cannot do anything. He is just pointing out what is error in your belief system. So, a Gnani Guru doesn't give answers. He questions your answers to expose the belief systems, to expose falsehood in the assumptions. That's the person. That's why Ramana Maharshi, if somebody goes to Ramana Maharshi, asks a question, he'll say, who is asking question? Who are you? He's questioning you. He's not giving answer. The whole purpose of who am I is because you're asking a question from an invalid standpoint of view. So Ramana Maharshi doesn't go into detail of the self-inquiry process. He'll say, find out who are you. He leaves the person who has come to expose himself, which doesn't happen because our mind is blocked. If our mind is clear, why will you go to Gnani? So the entire process of spiritual inquiry is inquiring into the nature of belief systems. Inquiring nature of belief systems is inquiring to nature of the assumptions and see whether assumptions are valid or invalid. The Guru is only trying to point out to Shishya that invalid assumptions by giving clear examples or questioning. Then after that, it's up to the Shishya to drop the invalid assumptions and hold on to right understanding. This is the process of self-inquiry. So what are the requirements here? First thing is, the Shishya or the student should have genuine reason for inquiry, a genuine urge to find out the truth. And his question should be to find out what is holding me from my false identity. Not when will I get the false identity. Because Vedanta teaching Tattvamasi, you are now. So if you are, when Vedanta is teaching repeatedly, you are now Atma, Brahman. Then if you ask a question, when will I become Brahman, or when will I realize Brahman, then question itself is invalid. What is holding me to become Brahman, you can ask a question. And the question should be related, okay, you are saying I'm Brahman, but I'm not feeling I'm Brahman. Why I'm not feeling I'm Brahman? What is the assumption? That is the inquiry. So then the inquiry is trying to expose your wrongly held beliefs here and now. Inquiry result is not tomorrow. Here and now the question happens, and tomorrow you'll get Nana. No. And Guru doesn't give Nana. Guru is asking questions to expose your falsehood. It's exactly like a policeman questioning a thief. Thief will tell some lies. Then policeman will question again to find out the falsehood of lies. So here the thief is the ego. Ego is giving false answers. The Guru is catching the ego by asking probing questions. Please understand, in self-inquiry, Guru doesn't give the answers. Guru asks the questions. And Guru may be asking questions in a very aggressive way. It is for the thief, not for the person who is asking the question. The thief is the ego. Ego is actually hiding, masquerading, and asking the questions. So, is the process of self-inquiry clear? Any questions on this? Anybody has a question on Zoom? So,
the ego I.
Who keeps coming up? Who says so?
It's not the self, it is ego I.
Who says so? Who says so? Ego keeps rising, can be said by somebody who is not an ego, who knows ego is rising and falling. Who are you?
I'm the self.
Your question is answered, no?
Yes.
So this is next question. Okay. Next question is, okay, your question is, ego keeps rising and falling. Oh, ego keeps rising and falling. Who knows that ego keeps rising and falling? Morning time I have ego. Night time I have when I sleep, dream I have a dream, I have ego. And deep sleep I don't have ego. Who knows that? Ego cannot know it, no. One who is rising and falling cannot know it, no. One who knows that is there all the time, no. One who is not there all the time only can know ego is rising and falling, no. So when you say ego is rising and falling, who is saying this answer? Question.
It is the self.
It is self. Then who are you?
I am the self, but I am identifying myself with the ego.
Why are you identifying with the ego? Ego is coming and going. Why are you identifying with the ego?
I am not permanently in self.
Self is always impermanent.
I'm not associating. I'm disassociating from it, and I'm not going to the self.
Why?
I'm not in the self.
Why? Why? How can you be in the self? You are the self. You can be in the house or you can be in the street, but you are the self. You cannot be in the self. So next question is, why I am identifying with the ego? Okay. So the next question we'll find.